Mr. Jonathan Banks, there's a heavyweight fight coming up on pay-per-view December 1st. Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder. You are familiar with the heavyweight scene. You're very familiar with Wladimir Klitschko. What do you make of the matchup, and how do you see the fight playing out that night?
Well, you got a lot of different scenarios. The matchup is a good matchup. You got the master puncher against the more technically sound boxer that has more experience than the puncher. So it's roughly going to be narrowed down to which guy does the bigger puncher has good defense. Does the boxer has good defense? You know, that goes along with his offense, because I think any man over 200 pounds can hurt the other man. But the chances are more likely that if Deontay Wilder lands a shot, he can hurt and stop anything or anybody. That's what's been proven. And Fury's proved that if he can get going, he can pretty much move around and outbox you, because that's what he's been doing his whole career. So to me, it boils down to the mentality of either fighter, whichever one they decide to do, because both guys are still pretty much young. So it's not going to be, in my opinion, it's not going to be boiled down to who got the best strategy. It's going to be who got the best will to win and who has the best defense. Because keep in mind that this is going to be Wilder's first time punching up. Okay, and this is going to be Fury's. He's used to punching down. Punches are harder coming down than they are going up. So I think either fighter can be stopped, but it's more probable that Wilder can stop Fury than Fury can stop Wilder. You know, but I think it's hard for me to predict the winner right now. But I would say whoever has the better defense will win the fight.
Well, you would think defense Fury, because the way he moves and he's able to evade shots.
Well, no, not really, because everybody he fought that was actually trying to hit him was able to hit him. I mean, it's not like he got through every fight unscathed. You know, every top opposition he fought one, maybe two. When I say maybe two, well, not maybe, he definitely fought two. And I'm talking about Steve Cunningham. Steve Cunningham was able to catch him with some good shots, but Steve Cunningham was obviously a physically smaller man. So that's why I keep saying whoever has the better defense, because I'm not seeing the top. I can't say top defense, but both of them have holes. Like
They both get hit a lot.
They're not known for great defense, is what I'm saying. So I think whichever fighter has the better defense. I think both fighters have good offense. I think Fury's offense is a little more experienced than Wilder's, and it's more technical than Wilder's. But at the same time, when you got that master punching power and you come in and you hitting something, sometimes being technical doesn't matter. Because if you can land your hard shot, no matter how technical your opponent is, that's not going to matter. But at the same time, if you got a guy like Fury that's going to move around, and I believe he pretty much knows that Wilder cannot deal with no type of movement. And with him knowing that, I predict him to start moving around on Wilder, trying to force Wilder to get tired. By the fourth round, if Fury moves like I'm predicting he's going to, by the fourth round, Wilder's going to be two-stepping. He's not going to be chasing him no more. And Fury's looking for a late stoppage between round 6 and round 8. That's my opinion.
He has said that he feels he will stop Deontay.
I never knew he said that.
He said that he feels he'll leave himself so open because he'll be so desperate to be able to cut the ring off that he'll catch him.
Right, and he swings so wild and wide, you know, and I just think that's the little basic movement that Tyson Fury does. I think it's enough to throw Wilder off, because from what I've seen, anytime somebody move on Wilder, he just two-step until you get to him. Or he rush and gets to him and maybe catch him. I don't think he's going to be able to do that with Wilder, because it's, even though someone's ducking down, you still can catch him if you coming down, but this time he got to come up. You know, he's not fighting the guy shorter than him. He got to come up. And I think those fights, those shots would be a little bit easy for Fury to slip out of the way of.
Now, what do you make overall of Anthony Joshua, Fury, and Wilder? Out of those three, who do you feel is the best out of the heavyweights?
Well, through history, I learned to always give the edge to the gold medalists, because throughout the American history of boxing, throughout the world history of boxing, anytime you had a gold medalist in big fights, he always showed why he was the gold medalist. You can go to George Foreman and Muhammad Ali, 2 gold medalists, but the first one was the superior, which is Muhammad Ali. Now you take that same gold medalist, George Foreman, bring him to Michael Moore. That gold medalist showed his superiority, you know. So, and I think
Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson.
No, Lennox and Holyfield. Lennox and Holyfield. Now, it's a reason Holyfield's just got extra dig down. For whatever reason, these gold medalists have the extra. You go to Leonard and Hearns. Hearns is beating them just about every step of the way. Just something about that gold medalist got that extra dig down that they go forward. And they're able to capitalize on whatever mistakes the non-medalists or non-gold medalists make. So, for me, the gold medalist is one with Joshua. And then you will have to go with the bronze medalist, then you got Fury. But I think this fight will determine who's going to be behind Joshua. Whether Fury, it's not about who, to me, it's not about who wins, it's about how you win. Now, if Deontay Wilder wants to make a statement that I'm the real #1 guy and Joshua need to come to me, he need to knock out Fury within 6 rounds. If he dominate him and knock him out, that would show, listen, this man, like, Wilder needs to come to where I'm at. But if he struggles with him, if he goes the distance with him, he can show he got nothing for Wilder to come. Wilder's packed out a 90,000 stadium. Joshua packed out a 90,000 stadium. Nobody else have done that. No other fighter has done that. No other heavyweight has done that. So if Joshua can put the fans in the stands, and he's a marquee name in his country, Wilder still have to get to that point. I think this fight will help him, but in my opinion, he must dominate this fight, because how they say your bite must match your bark. They must match each other. He says he's the best. What's the rhyme? I'm the best, and give me all the rest, or whatever it is. And like Deontay is a good friend of mine. He's a good dude. But for him to continue to want to consider the best, I think that's a good thing to have, to be considered the best. I think he must dominate this fight to be considered the best.
Any chance at all that Wladimir comes back at all, or is he completely done?
You know, I don't see it. I haven't heard anything. As when I talk to him, I mean, yes, he truly loves the sport, but I don't see it. And as I talk to him, he hasn't mentioned anything to me about it.
So the fire's done. He's out.
To my knowledge, yes. To my knowledge, yes. If you call me tomorrow and say I'm thinking about XYZ, then that's something we have to talk about. But as of right now, he said he took a long time to come to a decision of him being finished, and as of right now, yeah, he's finished.
Me loving the sport so much, I want to ask you this. How do you think of prime Wladimir compared to Joshua, Fury, and Wilder?
Well, a lot of people consider primes to be different areas. So it depends on what you consider his prime to be. A lot of people say he was in his prime before he got with Emmanuel Stewart, you know. And Emmanuel Stewart was able to take him to a different level, but he was in the prime before that. So it just depends on what you consider his prime is. To me, he didn't reach his prime until after he was with Emmanuel for maybe a year or so. He started reaching his prime, he started hitting his groove, and he ran through his prime. That decade span he ran, I think that was good in his prime. So it just depends. I don't think Joshua, Fury, or Wilder have reached their prime yet. They're still young guys. It's hard to see a guy still in their 20s to say, oh, they're in their prime. I don't think so. For heavyweight, I believe once they get over 33 or 34, that's when their prime starts.
It's always great hearing from you and your insight, Jonathan. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Here with Jonathan Banks, Marcos Vegas in Los Angeles for Fight Up TV.